Oh, that's a good non-answer. Okay, number 3. This is good too. I've been seeing this girl or guy for a couple weeks. How far can I go with my girlfriend or boyfriend?
Are you asking?
You know what we're talking about. How far can I go with my girlfriend?
I read this.
or boyfriend?
I read this before we did this, and I just caught for a few weeks, and then asking this question. That's way
I've
too
been
early.
sick for a couple weeks. Yeah.
It's way too early to be asking that question. But if you are, we kind of joked about this at Speedway not too long ago. But the simple answer I gave was if the activity requires you to take off clothes, or you want to take off your clothes to do it, probably too far.
Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Seems fair.
Huh?
Why?
Those things would probably lead to impurity.
Yeah. So you set up boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boundaries is good.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we set up too many boundaries, but there are certain boundaries that we're expected to live within.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not for us to like not have fun or whatever, but it's God protecting you,
Right.
right? From a regret. God protecting you from something. You know what I mean? And we don't want. God knows what's best for us.
Right.
Why not listen to what God says? When God says that marriage and sex is I can't think of the word. It's for marriage, for a man and a woman, and that's how He designed it, which is clearly stated in scriptures. Then why not listen and be obedient to God? Why did He set that up? It's because there's a good reason why, and He knows what's best for us.
Yeah. There are a lot of good reasons why, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is just again my opinion, but here's the thing about sex and marriage, or sexy stuff and marriage.
Mhm.
I feel like people will try to convince you that if your belief is that sex should be reserved for marriage, that you're putting a really, really high emphasis on marriage and not a high emphasis on sex. Like it doesn't really matter much to you. People will try to make you think that, if that's your opinion. And I'm of the opinion that in biblical times, they didn't really separate the two. Like sex is what married you to somebody, right? That was what made your marriage real. And so I think we have this wacky attitude sometimes as young people especially, that like, what I would really like to do is just get as close to that as I possibly can without actually doing it. And I just feel like you wouldn't say that about marriage. Like, I just want to get as close to being married as I can without getting married. But the things they're the same. They're the same thing. Like, that's the reason they're reserved for each other. Having sex with somebody marries you to that person in a way that like you don't really get to undo, no matter how much you might want to.
Yeah.
So to me, the answer to that question, I mean, again, it's kind of a cop-out answer, but how far can I go with my girlfriend? My answer to that question is, that's not the right question to ask. Like, to be asking that question is exhibiting sort of a false understanding of the realm you're even working in.
Yeah, that's a good point. Wow.
When I was a teenager, that was the answer that my youth pastor gave me, was, you're asking the wrong question. I'm like, no, answer the question. And I think the tension that lies within this question is that as married people, we understand the importance of abstaining and withholding that, and separating and keeping the sexual stuff between a spouse and anything outside of that, because it is such a special thing and it's a special bond, and you don't want to have that. Like, I don't know any married person that looks back and they had a sexual past in dating and they said it was worth it.
Yeah. True.
It's just it ends up being hurtful. It ends up being drama. It ends up being a lot of things, and really stuff that's not going to lead you to God.
Yeah.
There's no way that you can further yourself sexually in a relationship with dating without having the marriage behind it and still honor God. Because if you're not doing it God's way, you're not going to be blessed in that relationship either. I'm a firm believer of that. So I don't know. I mean, I hated when my youth pastor said that. He's like, you're asking the wrong question. Well, what the heck question am I supposed to ask? And I remember him saying, be careful that no relationship is about how far you can go. That's not even the point of dating. You know, the point of dating is to get to know that person and to understand that person and, you know, and to love that person. But there is a boundary. You can love that person, but not have sex with that person.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that that is a boundary that needs to stay within dating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's good.
It's an easy question.
Easy
That's
to give an
good.
answer,
Right.
hard to live out.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, that's all we have for week 4 of Asking for a Friend.
That was fun.
Yeah.
We should do it again. All right, can we do that again?
All right. Thanks.
Peace.
Peace.